this like almost a lonely pineapple looking out into a snowscape where it doesn't really belong.
Hi, I'm Sam Blank. Welcome to Filling the Blank. I'm here with Painter Xiao Wang. Today he's going to take us around his solo show. We're just going to talk through a couple of his paintings. This painting right behind us, Xiao, when I was installing your show, I went home and I drank like 6 Peronis and went to class hungover a little bit.
Glad.
Because I was staring at this all day.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the inclusion of the Peronis and also the broken glass in this painting?
So initially, the idea of this painting is that you're kind of at this social space, maybe a bar, maybe a party, but you're, instead of looking at directly at the scene where narratives are happening, interactions are happening, you're kind of turning over to a quiet corner of it. So like in this case, there's no human interaction going on. You only see them as a reflection, very vaguely, and then you're seeing kind of a display of like food or drink. The inclusion of broken glass is a way for me to kind of add a little bit of kind of almost a little unknown drama into this, a little bit sense of threat, a little bit sense of like maybe it's not just all nice and kind of comfortable.
So this is a Buddha's hand lemon, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about the significance of using that motif in your work?
For the longest time, I wasn't aware that this is the real thing. And I think I discovered maybe only like 2 years ago. I was just absolutely fascinated by this just as an object. I didn't really care that as a fruit or anything. I always wanted to paint it, but it was available for maybe 1 month, a whole year. And so I waited for a whole year to be able to actually paint this. So in the beginning, I was fascinated by its shape and form. Because painting for me is first and foremost a very sensual experience. So this as an object, I had to paint it. But also it does have a significant historically kind of that's associated with maybe kind of like spirituality or like at least, association with positive things.
You have a frog in this work. What's the frog do for the...
So it's a funny story. So frog is one of the things that keep kind of appearing in my life. I don't know why. And so at some point I had to just be like, this thing come into my life, I want to embrace it. And so I started kind of, whenever I see a little frog object I find interesting, I collect them. And I start letting them kind of come into my paintings, and it becomes almost like a little bit of a personal symbolism. But again, like frog, if you look at the symbolism, especially like in Asian culture, in Chinese culture, they always have a very positive kind of symbolism.
Lovely. And so this painting is again, as I said, very simple compared to your other paintings. Now, your most simple and pulled back painting is actually your pineapple over here. It's your only painting that has a singular motif in it. What led you to believe that the pineapple, or I guess know that the pineapple is able to hold so much space?
I honestly, when I started this painting, I treated the pineapple almost as a person. So that's what made this a little bit different from the rest of the painting. The idea is that the pineapple is looking out in the window like a person does. I think that originally I was thinking about, it was just a random thought I had when I was at the supermarket. I really like pineapple. And it was a snowy day, very cold, and it just hit me. I was like, isn't it crazy that we can get pineapple in February? I just wanted to create this kind of a composition of this almost a lonely pineapple looking out into a snowscape where it doesn't really belong. So there's a bit of a sense of humor in this.
I love it. I see the longing in the work. I think the cut really adds to the longing.
Yeah.
And so you're known for your ability to mesh objects and make sort of invented spaces and invented objects. And I think this work back here probably is extremely emblematic of that. And also, we talked a lot about this horse specifically. How large is this horse in real life?
In real life, it's about maybe this tall.
Okay, so
including the leg.
So the grapes are definitely...
The grapes are actually life size. They're not life size. It's to the scale.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're very large grapes.
Lovely. And so you have, that's a lotus blossom, right, in it?
That's a lotus pod.
Lotus pod.
I did this photo when I was visiting home in China, and so at the time it was late October. So, and sometimes you see these, people kind of have these dry lotus pod as a kind of a object of curiosity because they look kind of fascinating. So, so I was like, I wanted to include them in my painting.
This sculpture that you have painted it's not actually two-sided in real life?
It's actually not, it's not actually two-headed. It's one head. It kind of happened almost by accident, not by accident, but it kind of happened. It wasn't what my plan was. My plan was to paint the horse as it is. But initially I was playing with composition and I was really struggling to make the composition work. And then one day it just hit me, if I double the head and not only conceptually make the painting stronger, but it also solved the composition problem. So that's what I decided to do.
So I want to talk about this really monumental work right here. I've been jokingly calling it your Last Supper. Can you take us a little bit through sort of the elements of it, some of the things you would like people to see in the work?
I think the most important elements of this painting conceptually is the idea of duality. So I like to play like little things, play with little details in this painting. Like I hide clues in this painting. So like, I feel like I don't need to really explain what is happening. I think that's very self-explanatory. But there are clues, not clues, there are little elements that indicate duality that are hidden like throughout the painting. I think is one of the things that if you are curious enough, if you spend enough time, you can kind of really like pick out each of them because they're kind of spread out. But there's also one bigger secret in this painting that only a few people knows. And if you do have a sharp eye, you will be able to spot it, and then it changes your perspective about the entire painting. I'm not sure if I should tell you. I feel like it's more interesting if I keep it as a secret.
Yeah, keep it to yourself. This is my cross to bear.
There are actually two references in this figure. So the first reference is Edvard Munch's the kissing figures. I've always been really fascinated by that painting because it's obviously like, you know, it depicts like a kind of like a passion, but also at the same time there's like a kind of a darkness to that painting. So I've always been very fascinated by that motif. So this painting was my opportunity to kind of insert that into my own work. There's also a little bit small reference of MC Escher. When I was painting this, I wasn't even aware of that as like a specifically MC Escher reference because it's a real shirt. And later I learned that I feel like that actually made the figure a little bit more interesting. I love painting. I love painting things that seduces you. So if I paint food, I feel like if it doesn't make you want to eat it, there's no point painting it. So I think the biggest goal is to make you really want to grab it.
So Xiao, thank you so much for being here with us today. I wanted to end with this painting of your partner, Kathy. It's in the mirror. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about this work.
So I make sure that I paint my partner Kathy at least like once a year or sometimes twice a year. It's just like, it's a personal project. I like to kind of like, it's almost like a form of documentation of our life. And so this would be, I guess, one of a painting of her of 2024. Initially, I was kind of building this set of still life that almost looked like a shrine, but I was struggling to like kind of figure out how do I include like her figure in the painting, because like in many of the sketches that I did, it didn't quite work. So eventually, suddenly it just hit me. It was like I could just put a mirror here, and then she will actually be in the space, but also not be in the space at the same time. So that's initially where the idea came from.
Thank you so much, and thank you for taking us around your show.
Sure.
Thank you to Karen HESSE FLATOW and HESSE FLATOW Gallery. Thank you so much for joining us this week. I will see you guys next week, and bye-bye now. Thank you.